Before Marvel turned gods into superheroes, ancient Egypt carved them in stone. When the series MoonKnight first hit our screens, most of us saw the capes, the chaos, and the incredible fight sequences. What almost no one saw was that every symbol, every flash of light, and every word of Egyptian buried inside that show is real. They're messages left behind by a civilization that thrived 5,000 years ago, and the true meaning of those gods is far more complex and fascinating than Marvel ever let on. Let's start with Khonshu. In MoonKnight, he's the intimidating skeletal bird-skulled deity who picks a broken man to be his fist of vengeance. But the real Khonshu, spelled Khons meaning the traveler, was no villain. Far from it. He was a protector of journeys and the night sky, a revered member of the triad of Thebes alongside his parents, Amun and Mut. Ancient priests called him the healer, the driver away of evil spirits. So, where Marvel saw a vengeful, manipulative specter, the Egyptians saw a divine force that balanced madness with mercy. Yet, there is a small kernel of truth in the harsh voice Marvel gave him. Ancient texts do describe Khonshu as a god who would punish those who broke sacred oaths sworn under the moonlight. To the Egyptians, these oaths were not just words. They were sacred bonds that tied human souls to the cosmic order. When that order was violated, vengeance wasn't just revenge, it was a form of cosmic justice. Marvel simply took this metaphor and made it literal. A god who wears his own judgment on his bones, an embodiment of consequence. And what about Mark Spector's fractured mind? That isn't just a convenient plot device either. It taps directly into ancient Egyptian beliefs about the soul. The Egyptians believed each person held multiple souls, the Ka, the Ba, and the Ak, among others. When these spiritual components split or fell out of balance, it was believed to lead to madness. So Khonshu's choice of Mark, Stephen, and Jake wasn't random at all. It reflects the ancient idea that a broken soul, through its cracks, can sometimes perceive divine truths that a whole soul cannot. Now, let's talk about Ammit, the crocodile-headed, hippo-bodied demon who devours souls before they even have a chance to sin. In the series, she is portrayed as a tyrant, condemned for punishing people in advance for crimes they haven't yet committed. But the original Egyptian Book of the Dead tells a very different story. In the underworld, Ammit waited patiently beside the scales of Ma'at, the goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. When a dead person's heart was placed on one side of the scale, and the feather of truth on the other, Ammit only acted if the heart, heavy with sin, outweighed the feather. She wasn't evil. She was a form of cosmic recycling, the final end for those who refuse to live in balance. So why did Marvel rewrite her into a straightforward villain? The answer lies in modern storytelling's need for clear-cut heroes and antagonists. But in ancient Egypt, even gods associated with death and destruction were seen as essential parts of life's grand machine. To them, fear wasn't inherently evil. Fear was a tool that helped keep the universe in line. The real lesson of Ammit isn't about preemptive punishment, it's about proportion. It's a question we still ask ourselves today. How much darkness can we carry before it completely consumes us? Mark Spector's internal conflict, his split identity, also echoes one of the oldest and most significant cosmic battles in Egyptian mythology, the war between Horus and Set. Horus, the noble falcon-headed sky god, was the rightful heir to the throne of his father Osiris. Set, the god of chaos, deserts, and storms, brutally murdered his own brother and stole the throne. Their epic war raged for 80 long years, to the point where the gods themselves grew tired of judging who was right and who was wrong. In the end, neither Horus nor Set achieved total victory. Instead, balance won. The sun and the storm, order and chaos, had to learn to share the sky. That is precisely Mark Spector's story. He is both Horus and Set, contained within one body. Order and chaos, light and madness, locked in a ceaseless trial against each other. Every transformation scene, every moment Mark stares at his reflection in a mirror, is a modern ritual depicting those two ancient gods wrestling for control. Marvel didn't invent his duality. They resurrected it from the sands of time. This idea of balance was central to the entire Egyptian worldview. They measured truth not in absolute facts, but in equilibrium. This is why their art style remained so consistent for millennia, never adopting realistic perspective. You see the body in profile, but the eye staring straight forward. It wasn't a lack of skill, it was a visual prayer for order, a way of depicting every essential part in a balanced whole. In MoonKnight, every time the camera spins, every disorienting moment of inversion or a mirror flip, it's cinema imitating ritual, order being distorted and then, hopefully, restored. Even the iconic white suit that Stephen Grant wears is not a random design choice. In ancient Egypt, white was the color of purity, cleansing, and resurrection. It was the color used for the linen wrappings of mummies and the sacred robes of priests performing rituals. When Stephen transforms into Mr. Knight, his transformation is literally a symbolic burial and rebirth happening right before our eyes. And the crescent moon itself? The symbol of Khonshu's power? For the Egyptians, the moon was the visible heartbeat of the gods, a symbol of time itself. Every phase of the moon, waxing, full, waning, new, represented the eternal cycle of life, death, and return. So when Khonshu's power flares under a crescent moon, it's not just a cool visual. It signifies rebirth through madness, a profound lesson that is far older than any comic book. In the end, Marvel didn't just borrow a few myths for a superhero story. They opened a symbolic tomb and let its ancient meanings breathe again in a new form. Every shot of a pyramid, every chanted spell, every weighing of a heart was an ancient sermon delivered in the language of modern television. The only real difference is simple. We now stream what they once worshipped. And in doing so, we prove that powerful myths don't ever truly die. They just change platforms. If you enjoyed decoding these hidden gods with us, please hit that like button. Let us know in the comments which Egyptian deity you would serve, and don't forget to subscribe for more Myths in Minutes. On our next episode, we'll explore ancient prophecies that might already be coming true. Thanks for watching.